Ukraine today is joined by the extraordinary and plenipotentiary ambassador of the State of Israel to Ukraine, Mr. Eli Belotserkovsky. Mr. Ambassador, welcome to Ukraine today.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Ambassador, your country, as no other, has a vast experience in addressing military conflicts and also their post-effects, namely treating the soldiers and their post-traumatic syndrome disorders, something which Ukraine is just learning. And I understand that the government of Israel is currently cooperating with the Ukrainian government in treating PTSDs. Can you tell what exactly the government of Israel is doing to help Ukraine in this matter?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you very much for bringing it up. I think it's a very important issue, and it's one of the most important topics and subjects for our cooperation. Now, in Israel, as you have mentioned, unfortunately, because of our situation and the conflicts that we are engaged in, we have a significant experience in a number of issues that concern life during and after conflicts. And one of these issues relate to the post-traumatic syndrome that many of our soldiers and also civil population that finds itself in an area of conflict experiences. So what we do is we are trying to share our experience with our Ukrainian counterparts. We bring experts from Israel to work with the Ukrainian counterparts, with Ukrainian psychologists, social workers, teachers, and even priests to share their experience on dealing with these people who suffered through a very significant trauma, psychological trauma.
Are we talking about some sort of trainings? Are we talking about teaching Ukrainians to do that? What exactly is being done?
Yeah, well, we are having a whole range of seminars. We are bringing Israeli experts for 3, 4, 5 days, depends, and we conduct seminars with, usually it's Ukrainian psychologists. During these seminars, they are getting the latest methods, the latest ways of dealing post-traumatic victims. And in these seminars, they're specifically aimed at providing practical tools to Ukrainian psychologists, tools that we have already developed in Israel, but have been unknown so far in Ukraine in order to deal with these soldiers or civilians that come back from the ATO.
Are there any, if you wish, examples of success in this area? Are there any soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers, which have already undergone this course and their state of mind has improved significantly?
Well, we have not been following the implementation of these measures by the Ukrainian psychologists, but from the feedback we got, and we had already conducted 10 seminars with more than 200, 230 experts participating in them, and after each seminar I usually try to participate in the closing ceremony and to hear from the experts, from the Ukrainian experts, and the feedback that we got was extremely positive. So I think these tools that they are getting are quite useful, and I think that they are using them in their daily experience.
Mr. Ambassador, I understand that apart from cooperating with the Ukrainian government in the area of treating post-traumatic syndrome, the government of Israel is also cooperating with Ukraine in a number of other humanitarian areas. Can you tell us what are these areas exactly?
Absolutely. Well, for us, I must say for Israel, Ukraine is not just another country. Ukraine is one of our most important partners in this region. Ukraine and Israel have a joint history, the history of the Jewish people, the history of the Jewish community in Ukraine. We have every year about 130,000 visitors from Israel coming to Ukraine, and about the same number of Ukrainian visitors coming to Israel. We have abolished a few years ago our visa regime, so now it's very easy to get to Israel for Ukrainians. We have flights to Israel from all the major cities of Ukraine. So actually there is an excellent basis for development of relations. And to add to that, we also have in Israel about 500,000 people, and we have in total about 8.5 million population. Half a million of them were born in Ukraine. So all this together serves as an excellent platform for development of relations. And of course, now when we see the situation in which Ukraine finds itself, it's probably one of the most difficult periods of the Ukrainian history. We, of course, are not standing from aside, and we are trying to support and to share our experience in the fields that are particularly relevant to the situation of Ukraine today. And most of these projects that we have are in the field of healthcare. In Israel, we have quite a developed system of healthcare, of public health, etc., and we are trying to share some of this knowledge. We have projects in the field of qualification for nurses, improving the level of nurses here. We have a project in establishing a first aid center based on Israeli standards and Israeli experience. We have a project we are discussing. It's not yet a project, but we hope we are going to turn it into a project on a rehabilitation center for Ukrainian soldiers or civilians, building capacity of Ukraine in dealing with wounded people. We have also projects in agriculture and in other areas, but it's a very wide, I think, range for cooperation between our countries.
There were some reports in the media about a mobile military field hospitals, which Israel government is providing to Ukraine. Is that correct? Is there this project in place?
We have a number of, we discussed different areas also in the field of military medicine, etc. So far, I cannot report on something specific, but this is in the working process, and we hope we'll get somewhere.
Mr. Ambassador, changing a little bit topic. Just last month, the Israeli embassy opened a consulate in Lviv, a stronghold of fascism, according to the Russian media. When you were there, when you were in Lviv, what was your impressions of the city, and what is the overall situation of the attitude towards the Jewish community there?
Yeah. Well, we actually opened an honorary consulate in Lviv. This is an important step for us because we feel that this significantly improves our connection with the western part of the country. We have cultural centers in Odessa, in Kharkov, in Dnipropetrovsk, and it's very important to have some kind of a Israeli presence, even though it's a honorary consulate. It's not a general consulate, but nevertheless, it is some kind of a presence in Lviv. This was my, I think, fourth visit to Lviv already, and I always enjoy going there. It's a very pleasant city. We have excellent cooperation with the local government, both on the level of the region and on the level of the municipality. And we have a lot of communication with them and cooperation with them with regarding to a revival of the Jewish community of Lviv, of their history, of their historical sites, and from our point of view, we have very good cooperation.
Do you feel any resistance or any objections on the part of the local community, local NGOs, political parties, organizations in Lviv?
Well, I haven't been in touch with everybody, but the general overview from what I experienced was a very positive one.
We will continue our interview with the Ambassador of the State of Israel to Ukraine, Mr. Eli Belotserkovsky. And now, back to the news on Ukraine Today.